Still two for the work, still two for the work, still two for.
Now we're going to start this dance off with a nice, dreamy waltz.
Still two for the work, still two for the work,
Zillions,
still two for
yeah, two.
Waltz.
It's still two for the whole world. 10 toes down, chose my own words wisely. I poet like a bar. Tender, yet spit like Dracarys. Professional William, no novice. Welcome to episode 4, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just before we get kicked off, before I get into it or whatever, before I start like really delving in on everything, I just want to give a huge shout out to Nerd Life Studios for allowing me to use their space to get this episode done. So I saw this really, really good ass movie recently. I think this is just another testament to how awesome and how deliberately excellent DC animated films are, bro. So I watched Superman Red Sun. Bro, I think I low-key like Superman Russian better, bro. Superman Red Sun, right? The premise is absolutely very interesting to me. This story is about what would happen if Superman were to have landed in Soviet Russia as opposed to Americana, Kansas, USA. You feel me? The original story, OG story of Superman, everybody knows it. He crash lands on a farm, gets found by like these really nice people, and these really nice people take him in and show him how to like live a normal human life. Or in this story, there's not like a huge presence of his like landing so much, or like an explanation of how he landed, how he got there. The story starts off with him. He's kind of old. He's like 12 years old, and he's like running away from these bullies or whatever. These bullies are like, yo, I'm saying, fuck out of here, you little, I'll destroy you. You know, like that good quality old school bullying. He gets away and runs out of nowhere. This little Russian shorty, because they're Russian. This little Russian shorty come out of nowhere. Cole Cox buddy, like right in the eye. Little bully buddy on the floor, like not really, but he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then he gets up. She Cole Cox him, and she's like, no, leave him alone. Don't you ever mess with him again. So then they run away. I think it's like Sergey, something like that in this one. Not Clark Kent. It's like Sergey, I think. I might be wrong. Don't quote me. But she's like, you cannot allow, you have to begin to fight for yourself, or some shit like that. And he's like, nah, I wasn't running. I wasn't running away because I was afraid. I was running away because I didn't want to hurt them. And she like, she like, what are you talking about, bro? They about to whip that ass. And he's like, have I ever lied to you? Like, have I ever lied to you? Ever? You feel me? And then as she starts to start paying attention to him to like answer his question, he's already like lifting up this like, I forgot what it was. It was like some large farming vehicle, like I don't know what they call it, a tractor. Damn. Yeah, he like lifted a tractor over his head. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And he's like, yeah, over the last few weeks, my body's been going through some things like Kryptonian puberty just hit different. Before she knows it, he grabs her up and like flies into the air on some Superboy shit. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, you're amazing, like you're the answer to the people. You should give your abilities to the state. They're like 12 years old. She's like, yo, bro, you should definitely commit your life and your abilities to the advancement of like Soviet society, right? So he gets this gleam in his eye because he's like, oh yeah, it's my bitch, right? Fast forward, boom, 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 boom. The whole entrance starts. Very cool opening sequence with like the Russian theme music, like the Russian-esque theme music. Like, first of all, I don't know shit about Russian music, but if I heard something that sounded Russian-ish, like I feel like this was a very close Russian-ish sounding opening sequence musically, right? Oh, so boom, the movie kicks off, right? Superman's older. He's like, he's basically established himself as as the Superman, the Russian or the Soviet Superman. The propaganda's out. Russia has propaganda out on him, you know what I'm saying? Him taking bullets and just like eating them, flying, landing, doing the superhero landing type shit. All propaganda. And he ends up at this speech. It's like an opening for some like dam. This is spoiler alert overload. You feel me? Definitely. I should have said that at the beginning. I didn't. But I'm honest. The ceremony. Stalin is there, right? First, I would like to definitely give credit to how much of a long timeline that this story covers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it starts off in like the 40s or 50s, and it goes through like World War II, and then like the future. You know what I'm saying? Like years ahead. So it covers like an expansive amount of chronological area. So when we're first getting started, this is like Stalin Russia, from my understanding, and he's like Superman is like his right hand man. Low key, he looks at him like he's his son, which is very interesting. Go from just a farmer as his father, like in the original story, to having to like getting like this nation leader father figure. Definitely attributes so much to some of the choices and decisions that Superman makes throughout the story. However, I do want to say just the layers of waves of characters that you're familiar with, but you're getting them in waves of ways that you're just like, wow, that's what happened. To see the birth of Batman in this shit. Lex Luthor's in this, of course. And in this timeline, Lex Luthor and Lois Lane are married, which is awesome. It's very, very interesting to see that dynamic play out. Lex is just Lexing. You know what I'm saying? He wants to see Superman not be the pinnacle of what everybody wants to be or give their allegiance and power to. He has this file. He has like this classified file of all the fuck shit that's happening in Soviet Russia. He gets the Superman, talks to Lois. Lois is like, yo, your country's on some fuck shit too. Here's this file. He reads it. He's like, oh my goodness. Finds out there's an encampment. Goes to it. Finds out that this encampment is lined with lead, so he could never see through it. All of the security is like, oh my goodness, the Superman, we did not expect you to be here. He's like, yes, I know that you did not expect me to be here, right? He's just going down because can't nobody do nothing about it. It's like a really bad scene. People are mining for coal, I believe, like being forced to work in really harsh conditions. It's like an underground city, low key. It's a dwelling. And Superman is witnessing this for the first time. There's this little boy. He turns around. He's like, I heard that you could hear a scream from 1,000 miles away. You mean to tell me that you never heard our screams? And then as the camera pans back, you see his parents' bodies just sitting there. They're holding hands. Their lifeless bodies are like just super, like you could tell they haven't eaten in a while, just malnourished to fucking shit. And then he stands up, and then bats start flying from behind him. Just turn Super Saiyan real fast. What I like about the story is that you do get so many familiar characters in different ways. So Superman, you get to see, Soviet Russia as the leader. You get Wonder Woman. She's still, she's still Wonder Woman. She's, from Themyscira. So she's out in the world trying to do dealings for the country. Batman, way left, bro. Way left. From that instant that I just explained, Batman basically becomes a Russian terrorist against the Superman regime. Like, as time goes on and progresses, some of Superman's ideals that he swore by that were like, better life for everybody, not being dominated or anything like that, but just improving life for everybody overall. Some of those things took really dark shapes. If you had a difference in opinion against what his was, then he would, they would put you through multiple brain surgeries, and just basically like catatonic you, you know what I'm saying? Or just like make you a puppet, take away your free will.
which is almost like, isn't that like the anti-life equation? Maybe we figured that out. So Batman becomes like this anti-Superman everything in Russia because he's Russian. He was the little boy in the cave. And first of all, Superman can't fight. Let's just talk about that, bro. Superman can't fight, and I believe it was something that like we all understood after countless times whenever Superman like really faces somebody with some juice. It's never like yeah, he overcomes things, but it's like it's like it's like it's in his spirit, it ain't never with his hands directly, like. But Batman gets these red sunlight emitting lamps, like a large room, cavernous room space full of them, from Lex, of course, and basically rids Superman of his powers. Pardon me. And at first, Superman didn't know what the fuck was going down, so he was like trying to talk shit still, like he still had the juice. Batman ran up on him with some quiet shit, hooked him like boom, caved his whole shit in. Batman whipped his ass, and not to say that Superman didn't try to defend himself, but your man basically got put on the operating table. Hold on, I got a little segment. Right now. It's called Whole Holes. It's just like little like where all the holes, like the holes in the plot structures that I was just like, what the that's interesting that happened, but I don't think that would ever happen. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a whole hole. There's a Green Lantern that crashes on Earth. Lex, of course, has possession of him. They're trying to figure out they're trying to figure out more about the ring. They believe that it might be a power source of some sort. Basically, they reverse engineer the ring, are able to create duplicates of it, and like so Hal Jordan becomes a Green Lantern in this universe, and he leads a team of like American soldier Green Lanterns. Very interesting, very very cool take. That would never happen. To my knowledge, like when a Green Lantern dies, like the ring is sentient, right? Like it chooses its bearer. It chooses the person who's gonna wear it. And when a Green Lantern dies, the ring like flies off and finds the next person. So the fact that this dead ass Green Lantern body is just laying on this bed, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know that would happen. That's a whole hole to me. I don't know if anybody got a difference in opinion or knows something else that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You let me know and educate me, because that was something that was kind of weird to me. It was holy. All right, so the second one, right? Wonder Woman's basically like a diplomat for Themyscira, and she's visiting. She goes to visit Superman, I guess, for what's almost like the first time. So they're just getting to like know each other, feel each other out. She's low key in love with them, giving like weird mixed vibes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Superman tries to make a move. You know what I'm saying? Like try to get a little kiss off. You know what I'm saying? Never met someone with the abilities like mine before. Right? Very interested. You know, you try to lean in for the kiss and shit. She was like, "Whoa, I come from a fucking island full of chicks, bro. Take it easy there." You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say we can't, but just like, whatever. And so like the whole evening goes cool. They end up just saying they're gonna be friends and like, allies or whatever. And boom. So he walks her to the limo. She gets in the limo. She gets inside of the limo. Drives off in the limo. He walks up 3 steps. And after his foot touches that third step, what drops into the scene is like a biomechanical clone, basically, of Superman, but American, and bred to be American to fight to defend and protect American ideals. And he has the U.S. on his chest as opposed to like an S or the insignia that this version of Superman has. In this movie, we see that there's a time when Superman literally breaks down the Berlin Wall, and right before he lands to do so, there's a reporter reporting, and he's like, blase, 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 blah, I'm a reporter, blase, blah, and then boom, he's like, oh my gosh, it seems to be what sounds like the breaking of a sound barrier from like miles away. You feel me? Or however far he was. The regular human heard this. However, the superhuman Diana, who just got put into the car, whose car just drove away, didn't hear this super powered, super speeded individual crash land into her newly found friend's castle and continue to like pulverize certain sections of the city. My question is where was Wonder Woman when all of this destruction was going on? Like, she had just left the party. I mean, like 3 steps ago, she was just here. Like, where did she go? Did she not hear this? That's a whole hole, bro. That's a whole hole. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it. Hey, look, I've come prepared today. That's all I'm saying. The reason why I called it Why Settle for a City in the Bottle, or Why Settle for a City in the Bottle, is because it was a line that Brainiac said near the end of the movie when he admitted to Superman that it was his plan the whole time to like basically have Superman do all his dirty work for him and take over the planet for him, and like but when he first crash landed down to the planet, he like shrunk a whole city down to like hand size. And yeah, and he in that moment after he saw what Superman can do while protecting the Earth, he thought to himself an idea, and he rode it out for decades, fronting as if he was Superman's servant. It's an amazing plan. It was a great it's a great story, man. Fucking Batman offed himself. I'm not like, yo. If you end up at some point this weekend, because it's Friday right now when I'm shooting this, if you end up at some point this weekend just looking for something to push play on, you know what I'm saying? Superman Red Sun is a great option, man. Like, I'm gonna give this shit 2 finger salute all the way up, because it's fire to me. I've already watched it 5 times. I'm probably gonna watch it again because I paid for it in digital format, and I'm gonna get my money's worth. You feel me? But yeah, just wanted to come and talk about it. That's my review, my little 2 cents. It's my 2 cents on Superman Red Sun, and yeah, man, it's been episode 4, the 2 for the World show. It's your boy, William Zillions. And yeah, this is the platform where we create us is Actual Factuals. Thank you very much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate your time. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. And yeah, man, I'll be seeing you soon. Yeah, have a great one.
Are we going to start this dance off with a nice dreamy walk? It's still 2 for the whole world. 10 toes down, chose my own words wisely. I poet like a bar. Tender, you spit like your cars.